What's going on, you guys? Fullster, and I'm back with another video. Today's video, I'll be doing an in-depth KAYN jungle guide. I will include the shadow form as well, but I would advise you to play the Rast form. It's a much better form, especially after the buff, since it did get quite a nice heal increase on that buff. He is a really good jungler right now, so I would highly advise trying him. He's also fairly simple to play, so, I mean, it can't hurt, right? Anyway, let's get right into the runes. This is the rune setup I will be using on KAYN, and I would advise you to use on KAYN. There's a slight difference between Rast and Shadow form. I will explain this as well, but yeah, let's get right into it. So on Rast form first, I will go Dark Harvest on Rast form with sudden impact. I mean, at this point you can go Eyeball Collection, but usually I tend to prefer Zombie Ward because it's just a little bit more vision control that you can get away with. Eyeball Collection is also good if you just want to get some damage in, you know? And then Ravenous Hunter for sure. Ravenous Hunter on Rast is really, really important. It will help you stay alive for much longer, because it does give you that nice increased healing. And, like, that's all Rast is. It's just healing, 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 and just scaling HP damage. Just heal it back, everything like that. So this is definitely the one to go for on Rast form. And then as a secondary tree, you want to pick up the Precision one with the Triumph for extra healing as soon as you kill someone if you're missing health. And then Last Stand, because on Rast form, you're gonna be in, like, sticky situations, let me put it that way. Like 1v3, 1v4 situations are where you shine. So in those situations you do get quite low, and you do have to rely on quite a lot of your healing to make sure you stay alive. So if the enemy buys an Executioner's Calling, you need to be very careful and kill them first. So yeah, Last Stand is definitely going to go for it. It gives you the biggest damage increase in just straight fights, and as soon as you get low HP, you will be able to deal more damage and heal more. So Last Stand is the one you want to go for. Now this is Rast form KAYN. If you want to play blue form instead, then all you have to do is, between these, switch this Last Stand to the Coup de Grace, because you're going for one-shots, you're going for bursts, so as soon as you hit that threshold of 40% HP, you can just you will deal 10% or 9% extra damage now, and that's just the one to go for. And then also, as soon as you kill someone, you get that nice AD increase to help you out a little bit more in the next kill. Now, also on the Shadow form, I would advise you to go for Electrocute instead, because you're just going straight quick bursts. You're not really going for longer extended team fights. If you're going for extended team fights, Dark Harvest is better, especially in Rast game, because you're slowly going to be able to kill someone, and then every time you kill someone, you get the like the proc, the Dark Harvest proc, and you can use it again on the next target. And it's just really good on Rast form. Like those 1v4 situations are won by Dark Harvest. So you definitely need it on that form, and that's what I would advise there. But if you're just going for quick one-shots, Electrocute's definitely very, very good and better than Dark Harvest. Especially like early game, it's better than Dark Harvest because you don't have to stack it up. So yeah, Electrocute in those situations. Now right here, I probably would go Eyeball Collection on this one because you want a little bit of damage increase. And then I go for Relentless Hunter as well on the Shadow form because you just want all that extra movement speed. You're buying mobility boots, you're buying all that kind of stuff to get over the walls, to quickly get in position to one-shot somebody. So having that extra movement speed here from the Relentless Hunter is very important. Now this is the rune page I would advise you to go for Shadow KAYN. The runes that aside, let's go into the item build right here. Do I still have that set up? Nah, man, that shouldn't be the right one. Alright, I'm just going to make a new one here. Now, the starting item is pretty simple here, actually. It's the Talisman. It's probably the best starting item for KAYN because you do a lot of you use a lot of spells. If you use your Q on like the Raptor Camp, you're going to be able to heal quite a lot from just having your Hunter's Talisman there. And, I mean, just buy it, you know? It's that simple. And then the refillable potion is enough sustain to get you through your jungle, and it's also very gold efficient. You don't have to get the triple health potion on KAYN, just not necessary. You can use your E to get a lot of HP back as well. It's like 100 health per E. But yeah. Now, moving on to the item build, I'm gonna split this up in like two type of core builds because one's gonna be for Shadow and one's gonna be for Rast. Again, I would recommend you to go for Rast if you really wanna play KAYN to his fullest potential. Shadow is just hella fun. Like, I'm not gonna deny it. It's really fun to play Shadow. So yeah, I mean, I'll start with Shadow KAYN because it's a very simple build. It's Blue Smite with a Warrior enchant. So you want Blue Smite on this. I mean, you could go for this one as well if you want some vision control. But Blue Smite just for extra burst damage, and then you simply build a lot of lethality. I mean, obviously your mobility boots are very important on this form because you want to get in like position and walk over walls really fast to get like the cheese play on the AD carry that's farming bot lane or something, you know, you just start walking from the dragon wall and just walk over like 4 walls and just kill the ADC. That's the cheese play, and that's why you want this mobility boost for combined with your Relentless Hunter. At this point, I mean, it's straightforward. You get the Duskblade, and then you click this item, and then you get Yomu's Ghostblade, and then you can get an Edge of Night as well. And then you finish this build off with like a Guardian Angel or something like that to make sure that as soon as you dive in, you actually have a chance of maybe getting out or maybe killing 2 people. Who knows? So, just a straight Shadow build. I mean, there's really no variation in this Shadow build. Just straight lethality, straight one-shot damage. I mean, it did get nerfed quite a bit, this lethality form as well. I'm actually not sure if it did or it's going to get nerfed. I believe it's going to get nerfed because it says 20 lethality here, and I'm guessing I think this was going to go to like 18, or maybe it already did, but it didn't change yet. I don't know. Anyway, this is the build you want to go for. Just straight lethality, just straight one-shot. It's Shadow KAYN. Pretty simple build. Now into the Rast form. Rast form also has quite a straightforward build, if I'd say so. Same thing here applies though, the Warrior enchant, but on Rast you definitely want to go for the Red Smite because you want to go for those extended fights. You want to have that damage reduction if you're trying to 1v1 people. You want to have that damage increase as well. So you don't really look for one-shots, you look for more extended fights, so then the Warrior enchant becomes better with the Red Smite. Now, boots. I mean, on this form it's pretty straightforward with the boots. You can just go either Mercs or Ninja Tabai, whichever one fits better into the enemy team. So if they have like a lot of AD or auto attack based champions, Ninja Tabi is better. If they have a lot of CC, Mercs are better. Very straightforward. Let's just say that, like, I mean, most of the games you will go for Ninja Tabi, so I'm just gonna keep this for now. But you guys know that Mercs are definitely something you want to build into heavy CC comps. Now, your first main damage item, and the item that just you absolutely need this item, is the Black Cleaver. The Black Cleaver is insanely strong on Rast form KAYN, because you deal HP scaling damage, which is physical damage. Like, it counts as physical damage, so having the extra, like, armor reduction cleave from this cleaver, it's really what you want. Also, I'm again not sure if this already happened or it's just gonna go happen in, like, the 8.1 patch, but cleaver is gonna get buffed back up to 30%, so it's gonna be even better of an item. So, definitely pick this up. The way this works is cleaver will reduce the armor, which in turn will increase the amount of damage you do with your HP scaling damage, because your HP scaling damage counts as physical damage. So if they have less armor, it will deal more damage. I'm pretty sure that's like pretty obvious, but I'm just gonna say it like that anyway. Now right here after that, the Death's Dance is your item to get. Like these 4 items are, I mean, it's pretty much a guaranteed build every single time, because you don't really need to build any defenses since you build around healing a lot. So the Death's Dance, as soon as you pick up that item, you unlock the potential to like 1v4, 1v3, 1v4, maybe 1v5, even if you're far enough ahead to do that, and then just get quadra kills, pentakills that way, just 1v5, which is insane. But this is definitely, like, these 4 items are a must on KAYN. After this, it can be debatable. Usually what I do, though, is I will pick up a Guardian Angel after this, because I do go for those risky fights. On KAYN, I will go for the 1v3, 1v4 situation, and then having that little bit of extra life with the Guardian Angel, getting back 10, and then waiting for your cooldowns, using your cooldowns again to heal back, will help you quite a lot as well. Also gives you nice 40 extra attack damage and 30 armor, so it's never bad. It's just really good item in general. Now the last item, like, this is like a core item for a core build for Rast KAYN. I'll pretty much pick this up every single game in this order as well. So yeah, the last item is quite variable though. The last item is where it starts to become, what does the enemy team have and what do I want to pick into that. Now if they have like a lot of healing, you can get like a Mortal Reminder for the Executioner's Calling healing reduction. If they have like high health tanks, you can get this item. But I wouldn't really recommend getting this item that much, because you might as well pick up the Mortal Reminder, since all you really look for is that bonus armor penetration, since as Rast form you do have the HP scaling damage, so all you have to do is reduce their armor to get your HP scaling damage, and then you will kill them fast enough anyway. So if I'm gonna go for a Last Whisper, it will very, very rarely ever be the Lord Dominik's, because KAYN's Rast form does have the the HP scaling damage. Also, something to mention, I nearly forgot, on the Shadow form, this item is very good to replace your jungle item with later in the game. It's because you need that little bit of extra bonus armor penetration in some situations, so it's a very good swap. Also, only costs you like 10 extra attack damage, but it's gonna be applying grievous wounds as well. So if you're trying to fight like an AD carry, maybe at this point like a Bloodthirster, you'll be able to reduce their healing and you'll still be able to one-shot them. That's a very important thing to remember there. But yeah, for the Rast form, this is pretty much the Lost Whisper you want any situation, because of the fact that you do HP scaling damage and all you need is that bonus armor penetration. Now, other great items are Sterix Gauge, for example. You can definitely pick that up. It's just like, I'm not exactly sure how much extra attack damage you get from it. I believe it's around 60 on KAYN, 65, something like that. It's a really nice amount of attack damage out of just one item, but it also helps you with a lifeline passive to be able to sustain, like get a lot of HP whilst you're getting low, and then you can heal more back, if you know what I mean. So it's definitely a viable item to go for, especially into like burst comps. This is when I usually pick it, into like high burst champions that will just try to one-shot you. So if you have Sterix, you can pretty much buffer that out combined with your Death's Dance. You won't get one shot, you'll be able to heal back, and you'll be able to still sustain through that fight. So in those situations, Sterix is definitely useful. So into burst comps, definitely would recommend Sterix. Now as well, I mean, you obviously have the cleaver upgrade with an Ornn on your team. I mean, Ornn's busted and usually gets banned, so you wouldn't see this too much. But hey, it's always there. Definitely something you want to be picking up on Rast form as well, if you can. Now also, sometimes I like getting the Blade of Rune King if they do have quite a lot of high health champions, because then not only will your Q and your ult deal HP scaling damage, but also your auto attacks will start dealing HP scaling damage. So if they really have like Mundos, Cho'Gath, anything like that that just stacks health, Tahm Kench, who knows. Definitely Blade of Rune King is a nice 6th item as well. And then you have Mercsim if you get like CC'd a lot. There's a lot of variable options here. Ma is also good into like heavy AP comps, but usually with heavy AP comes the fact that they will be high burst champions, so then Sterix becomes better than Ma, because like the Sterix will also give you the extra health booster that will allow you to go in much deeper than the Ma will. But hey, that's pretty much the KAYN build. If you have any questions on it, do make sure to ask them in the comments below. I will try my best to help you out. Also, if you've enjoyed the video so far, please make sure to hit the thumbs up below. It does mean a lot. Help me get this video out there, and yeah. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well. Please. Please. And yeah, let's get right into the gameplay now. Alright, welcome to the gameplay section of this guide. As you can see, I'm playing KAYN, obviously. Into a Trundle. Trundle is actually a really good jungler right now. So this is actually quite a difficult matchup for KAYN. Because as soon as you go in... that's the wrong one. As soon as you go in on KAYN, Trundle Qs you, and he can just, like, steal your attack damage, which makes 1v1ing him quite difficult. Until you get at least your form. Early game KAYN is quite weak without your form. As soon as you get the form power spike, that's where you're like, where KAYN really starts to kick in. So ideal time to get your form, I'd say about 15 minutes-ish. Sooner is always good, later is kind of eh. Like if you, for example, get your form on 11 minutes, but then you have to like time it with the, like you want Rast form or want Shadow form or whatever form you want. And you just gotta time it. So about 15 minutes is usually the max of what you want to get your form. But yeah, most of the time I tend to get my forms at around 11 to 12 minutes. So you can kind of take that as like maybe a guideline or something. I don't know. If you don't get your form that fast, then you just know that you're ganking wrong. Because at that point you're not ganking enough. You're not putting enough pressure. You're not picking enough fights. You're not dealing enough damage. And then you're just farming too much. So that's a really good gauger of like how well you're doing in the early game with KAYN. If you get your forms way too late, then you just know it. You just gotta up your ganking. Also, this game is played as a 5v5, like as a tournament. This is one of those tournament games, if you guys know what I mean. Like the weekend tournament or something Riot did. So I just played with a team. This is like quite coordinated team play, I'd say. The opponent wasn't like that bad. I can't remember exactly what elo they were. Probably like mid to high diamond, I'm guessing, because that's what elo this is, really. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, anyway, usually on KAYN, what I do is I start Q always. Q starts the Vest because it does more damage to monsters. Usually I start bot lane. I see a lot of KAYN starting the Raptor Camp, which honestly doesn't matter anymore. Like, what you can do, of course, is those that level 4 cheese plays. So you start Wolves, leave 1, and then you don't hit level 2, and then you do blue and all that. You can do that, but I would just, like, ask for a really strong leash streamer bot lane on your first initial buff camp, and then just full clear your jungle. You're very, like, it's very easy to do it. Also, you don't really like lose it. It just you just get more out of it. I mean, I don't understand these Raptor start Kayn players lately because it doesn't really help you that much anymore. And you might as well just have the extra speed from the other side of the map. Another thing is, most people, if they're facing Kayn, assume they just start Raptor. So if you start blue buff with a really good leash, then they probably won't be reacting to that fast enough. Now here on level 3, I pick up my E. I can do both. You can do E or Q. Q will give you a little bit more damage, but I just go for E sometimes. Especially if I don't start red buff. If I start red buff, I usually take Q on level 3 and then E on level 4. But if I start blue side, I might as well take the E because you have all the mana you can spend and then you can just use it randomly to heal over walls like this. It gives you 100 health every time, so it's definitely a good thing to remember. If you don't have a blue yet, then picking up, like using E like that will cost you a lot of mana, which makes, like, for some trouble. Now, I see a gank here rising on top lane. They're ganking Ornn. I mean, a whole lot I can do, not really. I was just still clearing. I am standing on a ward, apparently. I didn't know this at the time. Frontal is walking up to me, and I just, like, do what KAYN does and just chill over the wall and walk away. Now here I was trying to maybe like sweep around and then go for the gank on this Maokai still with my E, but it just barely wasn't long enough in duration. So we just decided not to go for it. Now the ward disappeared, so it actually doesn't see me coming, and the Ornn teleports back, so we have a really good chance of actually getting this guy here. I do not go for it. I guess that's because the Ornn communicated to me that he still has his flash up. If he didn't have his flash up, I probably would have like flash Q'd that or something and just went for it. But yeah. I'm still 22 CS, can pick up a double longsword here. That's usually the back I go for on, like, KAYN. If I have 1,000 gold, I'll pick up double longsword with boots. But double longsword is just really good as, like, a first back on KAYN because it amplifies your jungle clear, like, your damage, your Q damage a lot on your jungle monsters. You're going to be able to clear a lot more effectively. So picking up early AD on KAYN is very important if you want to actually speed up your jungle clear. Now right here, I mean, all you gotta do is just keep clearing your camps, really. I'm looking for a bot lane gank because they're overextending. Now, these are ideal situations for KAYN. If your bot lane is positioned like this, or maybe your top lane, if you're this side of the map, if they're positioned like right here, you can just walk over this wall, and they won't be able to see you coming that like, they can see it, but, like, usually they won't be able to react to it that fast, because it's not that obvious, and you really have to look for it. So especially the lower elo you go, you'll be able to easily get away with this. No problem at all. Now, this is a really typical gank path for KAYN. Just press your E, start running over the wall. They are already way too far up, so I'm easily gonna make this engage happen right here. I instantly Q the Vayne. She flash heals away. I just flash after her auto attacker. Didn't have to do that though. I thought the Misfortune wanted to save her flash in that situation. So I was like, alright, I told him I got this. I will flash for that. But then he just like automatically did the flash, and then yeah. I mean, honestly, it would have been better in this situation if I flashed for it and Misfortune didn't, because having that flash up on Misfortune is pretty important. But I can understand where she's coming from, really. Again, this is coordinated team play, so you have to remember that voice communication is a big part in this. And I do remember some of it, but not all of it. So some plays I might be like, yeah. Alright, here, I'm not sure what I'm doing. This is really just a waste of time. You should not be picking that up until you get your Rast form. Or, I mean, on Shadow form, you never really want to pick that up, to be honest, because it just takes too long. But Rast form can then W it, it knocks it up in the air, you Q it once, and it pretty much just dies. So at that point, it can be worth just passing by real quick and just getting it. But yeah, but if you don't have it yet, just skip Scald Crab. It just takes way too much time, it's not worth it. All your other camps give you so much more experience that it's just better to go for those. Alright, here I'm getting quite low. I do have quite a lot of money to spend. Yeah, 1700 gold. I got 2 kills on bot lane. I mean, I come back here, get my jungle item and boots, I'm guessing. So Red Smite, Warrior with boots. No boots? Oh yeah, yes boots. I was waiting a little bit of gold. Oh, I sold my refillable potion for boots. That also works. You know, as soon as you pick up your jungle item, you don't really need your refillable pot anymore, because you just, like, you heal everything back. You don't really lose that much health either. You can also just use your E to get a lot of health back as well. The health that you lose, you can just get back with your E. So yeah. Alright, here, the bot lane get them low. I just simply, like, walk over some walls and just double kill them, really. Like, nothing too special. But that's something, like, a play you really have to look for a lot. And then we pick first turret here. No, it's like KAYN, you have to remember that on KAYN, you have a really large amount of gank path, because you can just walk over any wall. So, for example, you could gank top lane, like, walking like this, or some shit like that. You can walk over this wall. You can maybe get around some vision by just walking all the way around here and just standing there or maybe wait here. There are so many options from KAYN. You have to get creative a little bit. That's what I really like about KAYN. He's probably one of my favorite junglers to play right now, if not my favorite. I think right now, at this moment in time, I think between KAYN and Jax, I'd say those two are my favorite ones to play at the moment. Also, KAYN got a really nice buff like this patch with his increased healing. So that's really nice as well. Now, that Trundle just simply overextends, not sure what he is doing. I don't know what's going on in the communication of the enemy team right there. Actually, I can rewind this back and slow it down a little bit to see how... You guys can see how I play the fight then. A little bit more. Alright, so here, Maokai's standing right there. He ults. I catch the ult pretty much where it starts, so that's kind of meh. Now, my E runs out here. I couldn't really walk over anymore. However, Trundle does walk up. Xerath gets the stun on the Trundle. I do land my W. All I have to do at this point is just walk up to him, Q him, do quite a lot of damage to him, and then my Dark Harvest auto attack just finishes him off. That does so much damage. That Dark Harvest is actually insane. Now right here, I'm kind of just waiting for them to like walk up a little bit. I'm quite scared of Blitzcrank just knocking me up and hooking me, and then Corki finishing me off. So I'm trying to like juke and send in my Raptor camp right here, so he can't really hook me or like engage on me that well. So I'm just playing back a little bit more. And then as soon as like this play happens right there, they get quite low, and then I see my chance to go back in, hit the Maokai, press my E here to get a little bit of healing over the wall, and then go for this Blitzcrank since the Blitz and the Corki will be split. Get the Dark Harvest auto attack, red smite him so he does reduce damage to me, so he can't randomly kill me with his Ignite, and then that way I finish off the fight and pick up another kill. Right now I'm sitting on 70 Dark Harvest stacks as well, which is just really good amount of damage. Like, also, Dark Harvest really gets going the more you fight. So if you, like, as a jungler, you're in quite a lot of fights, and you get 6 stacks per, like, champion death. So if champion on your team dies in the fight, then you can pick up the stacks. You have to make sure you pick up the stacks, by the way. That's a really big thing for Dark Harvest, actually. I need to mention this. I see so many people play Dark Harvest, and they just leave all their stacks on the ground. I'm just like, why, my boy? As soon as one of your champions, like one of your teammates dies, that's 6 stacks. As soon as, like, one of the caddy minions dies in lane, that's 6 stacks. 6 stacks, Jesus, that'd be a play. That's, like, 2 stacks. So you just really have to make sure you keep picking up those stacks. It's really just worth doing. You can, like, get the kill, you get the stacks for free. But if you just, like, if your team dies near you or you get an assist, make sure you pick up those stacks. Because if you don't, then the stacks are going to go to waste. And you're just, like... Instead of like having like 300 stacks, you're gonna have like 120 stacks, which is such a big difference. Alright, I'm pretty sure I should be getting quite close to my form. I can't really see it right now, so I'm just assuming there's no real option for me to see it, I think. I am sitting on 1600 gold though. I do have my Red Smite Warrior with my Ninja Tabai. I went Ninja Tabai this game because they have Corki, Vayne, and Trundle. I mean, Mercs be pretty decent as well, since obviously they have quite a bit of CC, but... Ninja Tabi a little bit better to defend myself against Vayne's damage, and then also Corki's damage. So it's pretty much like a split item to make sure it works out. Now right here, I just walk over some walls. I didn't really make that wall work because I don't have enough movement speed, but hey. Vayne backs off. I think I am just like gonna look for the Vayne or something. I see the Trundle here. They see me because like I just walked into the Trundle vision range, of course. I am still sitting on like 2k gold, so I definitely need to look towards backing quite soon. And why am I... Alright. Trundle goes in, he flashes, which is a smart flash. As soon as KAYN ults on you and you flash into your team, KAYN gets into some trouble. So that's like a good thing to remember. I guess right here I'm doing the Scuttlecrab because there's really nothing else to do. But I really am not a fan of doing Scuttlecrab before like my Rast form, so I'm not sure what I'm thinking. Now, Vayne does get out there by using her flash, so, I mean, it's fine. It's a good trade anyway. Where am I running to, my boy? Alright. I guess I just cheese away the red buff or some shit. Yeah. I think I communicated here that I wanted to take the red buff away. My E's on cooldown still, so I can't really walk over this wall too effectively. Orin's not gonna die. That champion's busted as all hell. He can just tank for, like, light years. It's actually stupid. Alright, here, just get a little bit of poke. Oh, no, actually, I remember how far I am. I'm literally 1 hit away from getting my my form here. Because I remember that W on the Vayne. I was like, ah, man, really? That didn't get it? So I literally just need 1 hit on literally anything and I get my form here. So it's 13 minutes, which is not that bad, like, as a form type at all. Right here, I'm just going in trying to fight a little bit. I mean, I was a little bit too greedy for my form here, I gotta admit. That's really how I died, by just trying to get that last hit for my form in. But I did get enough there to get my form. So as soon as I get the base, or like as soon as I respawn, I'll be able to get my form, and then I'll be really strong. Now right here, I switched to Rast form, the best KAYN form in my opinion, like especially after the buff. Like after that healing increase on base levels, or like lower levels, it's so strong, dude. Like it was already really strong and much better than Shadow KAYN. But obviously Shadow KAYN is a little bit more fun, just one-shot assassinating people. I can understand that thought process right there. But yeah. Now here we go for Maokai. You have to remember that Rast KAYN has a lot of HP scaling damage. And that will make killing like tanks or like ganking top laners that are Maokai or Ornn or anything like that really like effective, because you just kill them really fast due to your HP scaling damage. So that's like really easy. As soon as you get the form, you can just go for the tanks, and you don't even have to go for just the squishies. Tanks will usually be a little bit more out of position because they're tanks, and they will be able to tank a little bit more, and like all that jazz. Alright, here we see the Rift Arrow. We want to pick that up as well, so we can use this to maybe push another turret down real quick. I'm currently 8-1, which is not doing too bad for myself. Whoop, that's the wrong one. Now also, by the way, it's just something to mention. I know that on Rast form and having like a max Q isn't that great, because like your W skills of stuff, people will probably ask this, so I'm gonna mention it right now. It is better to max your Q no matter what. Because without your form, having the extra points in your queue is going to help you a lot more in just clearing your jungle camps. And you need that. You need those early points. You need that first max queue to be able to clear your jungle camps effectively and fast. If you max W, planning to go for Rast form, then you can actually slow yourself down by quite a lot and just like clearing your jungle. Also, having the lower cooldown on this while scaling it up will be very effective in the other form as well to get a lot of damage in team fights, because it's a really easily hittable double AoE ability, or like a dash AoE ability, so you can easily just cleave a lot of people with it and get a lot of damage that way for your form. So it's just the best one to max first, and I just had to mention that because I can just see it happen. People asking me why do I go for this while I go for like Rast KAYN or anything like that. So yeah. Alright, here, actually, this is just a classic. Like, this is really just an easy KAYN gank. You see it here. Corki and the Maokai are coming up. Misfortune baited them incorrectly. I was just talking to her, and then they were like, alright, just bait him in. And then I go over the wall, so I just walk over. I pretty much just want to hit him first to get a Dark Harvest Pork, I think. And then just knock him up with W. As soon as he starts hitting me, attack him again. Like, that's the combo. Auto attack W, auto attack Q, and then auto attacks or ult to finish it off. And I ult him right here just to be safe that he like doesn't flash W away or something. Because your ult's not that big of a range, you have to remember that. So you really need to make sure you press it whilst they're in range of you. Because there are so many situations where you just get away with like, where they get away with like no health. And your ult's a really low cooldown. It's 60 seconds only. I mean, sure, I have like quite a bit of CDR, 30% right there. But it's really low cooldown, so just use it, man. Like, don't be too afraid to use your ultimate. You'll get the feel for it or when to use it pretty easily, pretty quickly as well. Right here, I'm just pushing bot lane in. I'm gonna use the Rift Herald bot lane here. I also just got an extra Dark Harvest stack that I can use. I see that red buff is up, so I'm just like, alright, let's quickly take this whilst Herald is working on a turret. Walk over, Dark Harvest, hit this turret. Thinking about this, I should have hit it first and then walked up, because then I would have gotten another Dark Harvest stack off it, but hey. Now right here at this point, I am dark, I'm Dark in KAYN, Rast KAYN. So I will kill pretty much Trundle and Maokai very easily, even though they're quite tanky. Or even though they would steal my AD, because I still do HP scaling damage, even though they steal my attack damage. Right here, I'm just kind of looking to walk up. But then I saw that my team had it, and they were so like, just someone needs to go defend mid lane. So I was like, alright, I got this. I go mid lane. I engage on the Vayne. Alright, this is a big thing to remember, and this is a engage you probably have to do a lot later in the game on KAYN, so I'm gonna slow it down for you right here. If you have your flash up, then this is definitely something you want to go for. Alright, let me just... So I'm looking for it play here. Right here, the teleport from Ornn is coming in behind them, so I'm definitely looking to pressure them in. So right here, I look for it, I see I want to go for the Vayne, and then I instantly flash Q her to get the hit, and then press W as soon as possible to just get him. I do accidentally ult the Blitzcrank right there, which is not too great for me, but yeah, you know, it's all Gucci. We still get the Vayne, and we get the Blitzcrank right after. I have a lot of CC, Ornn will slow him down. I have red buff as well, so there's really no escaping that. And at this point, I mean, would be an ideal situation to go for the Baron, but it's still not spawned for like 38 seconds. Oh, this one. Alright, here I just walked top lane, I saw Victor coming into like a little bit of problems there, and it's like, alright, I probably can't 1v1 the Trundle, so I need to make sure I get up there. And yeah, now right here we just get the turret. I mean, the Dark Harvest also is really good after you kill a champion or like anything in fights to push like the turret with. Especially later in the game, you'll be able to hit the turret for like 600 or something with the Dark Harvest stack, which will massively increase the speed at which you clear it. Damn. There is, by the way, that looks pretty troll, but you can barely make that with a Q if you place it correctly. I didn't do it right there, but you can barely make that. Alright, here I see Corki on the ward. I mean, he's just walking up a little too far. I'm not too scared. Right here, I can easily get out. I saw the Blitzcrank and the Vayne coming in a little later there, so I was just like, alright, let's just get out. On KAYN, you can be a little bit cocky sometimes, especially on KAYN. On Shadow KAYN, not so much, but on KAYN, you can be a little bit cocky sometimes and try to 1v5, 1v4 people and get away with it. That's something you'll see later this game as well. This is what I do a lot on KAYN later in the game. Just split push and then, or like, maybe look for, pick the fight 1v4. You will easily see how strong KAYN is at just picking that fight. Like, it's actually insane. Now right here, I pick up my massive power spike, the Death's Dance. The Death's Dance with Black Cleaver combination on KAYN is actually insane. On KAYN, that is. Because it will just help you sustain for so long. And this is when your 1v4, 1v5 situations are enabled. Now right here, I just engage. I simply knock them up. I just hit the Blitzcrank first so I don't get, like, don't have to deal with him. And then I just go on Vayne with my ultimate and pretty much get a triple kill. Just straight up by myself, not a problem. I'm not sure if Seraph did some damage, but hey. I'm 14-1-2. This is really all that you get out of just pressuring enough with KAYN. Like, walking from, like, dodgy positions with your E over the wall and just trying for those ganks. I mean, sometimes, of course, it's not going to work out for you, but if you don't, like, I see a lot of KAYNs just farm, and then they're like, oh shit, my ganks are so bad. But it doesn't matter that your ganks are bad on KAYN because you can come from the most obscure direction. So even if you don't have any CC on without a form, you can easily still get the kill because, like, let's say you have an Ornn top lane, the Ornn has plenty of CC to go around. So you can just CC the target down, you can just walk in and deal some damage. That's really all you gotta do. Now right here, we look for the Baron. We saw the 2 people bot lane, so we're like, alright, this is a pretty easy Baron call, so we can definitely make this. Also, I can tank this for... I mean, I could tank this forever, but then the Ornn is right there to just tank it anyway. The Death's Dance will pretty much give you enough sustain to be fine. Now right here, I make the call to go a 1-4. I think, yeah, I think I'm looking the pressure top lane here whilst my team is just going mid lane. Or the 1-3 right here, because Misfortune is dead, but hey. Right now, at this moment in time, you'll see the strength of KAYN. Like, Dark KAYN, Rast KAYN. This is so good. Because I think I remember this fight pretty well. I was like, alright, I got this. I'm just gonna look for it. Also, the E right there. If your team gets into any trouble, you can easily just walk over the walls and get to the lane pretty quickly. Alright, there. I went a little too deep. I mean, still, it took him years to kill me, but hey. Let me go back a little bit. Like, this is a really big thing. You can just walk over walls to get to your mid lane really fast. So, you don't have to worry too much about split pushing on, like, KAYN. Because as soon as you say, like, go 1-4 or 1-3-1, you will be getting to, like, the mid lane or wherever the fight's going on pretty quickly. Or you can just boost turrets as well. But by just walking over the wall, like, it's really simple. Now, right here, I see Corki all the way up. I'm like, might be able to assassinate this guy. But then I do get collapsed on by, like, way too many people. That's a classic example of not pressing your ultimate in time. Because right there, if I pressed the ultimate on the Corki in time, I most likely would have killed him. I would have followed him through his trail, and then my ult would have probably done about 30% of his HP bar. Actually, right here. No, wait, what the hell? Oh, I'm in the form right now. So here, 42% of their maximum health as physical damage. So that would have pretty much killed this guy. And then as soon as I killed that guy, I would have healed everything back. Because you can just heal that much back. And then I probably would have been okay here, but because I didn't click it fast enough, this kind of turned into a dire situation for me and I died. So you really, that's a really thing to take away from that. As soon as you go in on someone, knock them up and then Q them, auto attack them and then just press ultimate. Like, if they have escapes, you gotta press that ultimate, because if you don't do it in time, then shit's just gonna go wrong. So there I kind of made a mistake. I put my team in a slightly tough position by just not pressing my ultimate in time, you know? So that sucked, and then I had to pick another target. Also, if I got the... hit the Corki in time and he packaged backwards, I would have followed him. His team would have been a little bit more up there. Then I could have just ulted out, auto-attacked him, and ran away that way. So I would have been even better. So, you know, it's like you don't be scared on Rast KAYN to just dive into 5 people. Don't be too scared because it's so strong. Like, you can probably see it as well later in this game here, because I do remember one fight where I just went off on them. It took him a lot to just get me down. Alright, here I see the fight going out, so I'm just like, I'm looking for something here. I'm definitely looking for something here. The Xerath gets the stun. I Q onto the... First I stun him with my W, and then I Q onto him. Now here I'm just hitting the Maokai. Like, I have so much HP, like HP scaling damage that it really doesn't matter who I hit. So you can just go easily off that. I mean, your W doesn't really scale with HP damage, but your auto, like your Q will. So it's a big thing. Now right here, we aren't really able to pressure this too well, so I'm just gonna walk up top lane and try to push this out. I'm 16-2-2 right now, which is really good. I'm also nearly full build, because all this has to happen is this needs to go into a Mortal Reminder, and then we're fine. Then we're full build. Like, as soon as you, like, late game KAYN is actually insane. Alright, here, I just see the Vayne out of position. I'm just going for her. She does get a shield from the Blitzcrank, which allows her to survive that fight initially. So right here, there are like 5 people on me. Wait, alright. Let me just... I mean, that shield just barely saved her life. Barely. If I killed him right there, that would have been much better for me right here, but hey. So right here, I'm just chilling. I heal back 500 from just queuing some people once. Auto attack him. My GA gets procced. My team is not, like, right here, I'm making... Like, earlier I already made the call that Misfortune should go run bot lane as fast as possible and just keep pushing this. But, yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know. So right here, she's looking to run top lane instead, probably. Now, I'm resurrecting my Guardian Angel right now. Heal for about 900, knock him up with my W. Now, as soon as I get this, I heal for like 500-600, E over the wall, heal for another 200, and sadly, he had the Empowered Rocket that killed me right there. But if the Misfortune listened to the call and went bot lane here, we would have, off that, we would have had like the turret and the inhibitor. But like, they took them so long to kill me, like a good 25 seconds to actually kill me, and I nearly got out as well, if not for the Empowered Corki Rocket. So that's a 1v5 situation, and like, I got away with that pretty well. Honestly, I would have killed that Vayne if she didn't get the shield from the Blitzcrank, but there's not too much you can do in that situation, really. They do still get bot turret, so that's pretty good. Now right here, at this point, I'm like, alright, I might not be able to split this anymore, because I probably should just group. I am the team's carry at the moment. So I definitely should just be grouping a little bit more. Alright, here, I'm not sure. Actually, I think I'm just gonna go back top lane and just try to force the same thing that happened earlier. They do get collapsed. Wait, what happened here, actually? I wonder still. They told me something that was gonna happen here, but I really didn't register it that well. Did he, like, teleport in from behind or some stuff? Must have done, right? No, he just walked in from them behind. Alright, cool. So he walked in. They were up far. We did have a ward, so I'm not sure why they kept pushing. I'm confused, man. Whatever. They get engaged on and then they just die. That's quite a sad situation, but there's not too much I can do about that one. I told them to be a little bit more careful, and I mean, that's the thing that's gonna happen in solo queue as well. If your team isn't careful and does like stupid shit like... Oops, I pressed backspace instead of the other one. If your team does like stupid shit like that, you can't be split pushing. You have to group with them, especially if you're this far ahead and you're the only one that's really this far ahead. You just have to make sure you group with your team, because if you don't, then you're gonna lose the fight and like the game anyway, even though you're fed. And yeah, so don't force split pushing too hard, but it's very good on Dark KAYN if you can. Right here, I pick up the kill. I mean, didn't necessarily want the kill, but my Q got it anyway. I just wanted the assist for like running all that way down, you know. So 17-3-2 right now. I also thing to note, by the way, look at my farm. This right now, this current like meta patch, whatever you want to call it, junglers should have this much farm. Maybe a little bit less, but this is definitely a good benchmark. Like at least at 30 minutes, 210 CS is like the bare minimum a jungler like should be having at that point, because like every camp counts for like 4 CS. So if you do like Scuttle as well, you get 4 CS. If you do all these camps, you get 4. Like your number racks up so fast, and if you don't have this much farm, like look at the level difference between me. Like if I had that much farm, I'd be like level 14 right now or something. Like, that would have put me in a way worse position to carry this game, or just to, like, I mean, sure, I have 17 kills, like, not gonna lie right there. That helped me quite a lot, but hey, you need to make sure to keep up your farm. Especially if you play, like, scaling champions like KAYN or, like, Jax, you absolutely must make sure that you keep up your farm. Also, KAYN is very easy to keep up your farm because you do have your E. So if you're, like, clearing, you can instantly press your E to get over a wall or get to a teamfight quite fast if it's breaking out, or you can just split push. I mean, this game I probably got quite a few amount of CS from split pushing, but yeah. Right here, we're just looking for Baron. It spawned. There's really not much the enemy team can do to respond to this. Like, Ornn can easily tank this. I do HP scaling damage. We have a, I mean, we just have consistent enough damage to make it work. Alright, here I saw the Maokai. Actually, didn't I didn't see the Maokai backing. Interesting. Okay. What am I backing for? 1900 gold? Oh, yeah, right. I have Ornn in my game. Yeah, the Black Cleaver upgrade. I mean, usually you won't be able to get it, but because I have Ornn this game, it's a nice upgrade to get. And then with the red pot, yeah, that's always nice. If you have an Ornn in your game, if you're playing like a Trinity Force or any type of champion that builds one of those items, it's always nice to have that later in the game to have a little bit of an extra buy. I'll backspace this and slow it down a little bit as well. On KAYN, as you can notice, by the way, what I'm trying, my team's walking right here. I mean, Victor's bot lane was just clearing away for something, but my team's walking right here, and I'm always on KAYN. I'm always trying to walk in from the sides. So if they engage, I can just walk in with like an E over the wall, and like as you can see right here, I press E, and then I see this core key right there. So I just come from like an obscure direction, knock him up in the air. And that's like the positions, or like that's how you want to be playing KAYN, trying to flank people. Don't be in the front line that much, or like don't just walk in straight direction like this right here. You can't walk in from like this direction. You have to make sure you like loop around over some walls, like try to catch the Vayne out, try to catch the Corki out, anything like that. That's the way you want to be looking at it. Now right here, I'm just pretty much just chilling. I mean, I'm just walking through walls, just. Right there, also, I flashed because I know that if I walk out of the wall and don't flash, Vayne's gonna just E me into the wall and I can just straight up die from that. So I flash in the other direction. Like any other direction away from the wall would have been fine. Alright, here I get a double kill, and then at that point, I mean, there's not really a place for Maokai to run. I knock him up and then just Q him. Does HP scaling damage, does a lot of damage to him right there, and just kills him. And I believe of this, we just end the game. And as you can see, I ended this game with 270 CS, I guess, for a little bit more. But I ended with 270 CS, 20 kills, 3 deaths, 3 assists. I mean, you can easily get a lot of kill participation and a lot of CS on KAYN because, like, just because of his E. Like, his E, allowing you to walk over walls and just come from obscure directions is what allows you to be a very good ganker. Even though you don't have that much, like, you don't have any CC until you get your Rast form, or if you go for Shadow form, you don't have that much damage output, so you definitely need to make sure that you use that E and gank. And then your form is a very good gauger to see if you ganked enough or not, because if you don't get your form at the maximum 15-minute mark, you're doing it wrong, you've been farming too much, so it's easily a way to tell when you're doing it wrong or when you're doing it right. So here I finish off the game. And pretty much just carried this team, carried my team through this. Also, this was like one of those tournament type of things, so definitely not a bad, like, low played game. It's just a way of just ganking with KAYN and just keeping your farm up that will just make you very strong. And also there's 1v4 situations. I have so many clips of just like me just 1v4 quadra killing people with just like going in this build. Rast KAYN is so good, man. It's so good. I really would advise you to try it. I mean, Shadow KAYN is fun, but I would say Rast KAYN is way better and the choice to go for if you really want to win your games. Like, pretty much, like, I don't know. On my Smurf, one of my Smurfs, I have like a 90% KAYN win rate over like 80 to, like, actually, wait, 30 to 40 games. Yeah, it's not that many games. So it's a really good win rate. You can definitely get it with KAYN. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you did. It does mean a lot and it helps a lot. And yeah, subscribe for more. See you guys in the next video. Bye!